My most influential teacher by far was a then young man, although I was even younger. I was 10 years old, so he seemed fairly old to me, but I now realize that he was in his early 20s. His name was John Mahling, and this was at the Harley Hopkins Elementary School in Hopkins, Minnesota, where it was extremely unusual to have a male teacher. Indeed, John Mahling was the only male teacher, and I remember, even though I was 10 years old, I understood the irony when he kept telling his students that his mother-in-law kept nagging him, "When are you going to be promoted to high school?" And I smiled because I even understood way back then that important as high school teachers are, in my case, important as law school and college professors are, by far the teachers that have the most profound opportunity to do the greatest good or the greatest harm, quite frankly, are at the beginning stages of our educational process, elementary school. For all of the famous professors I had at Harvard Law School and Harvard College, they are all dwarfed in their influence on my life by John Mahling. And let me give just one of many, many examples. This was in Minnesota, which has the precinct, caucus, and convention system for selecting candidates for the United States presidency rather than the primary system. And what that means is grassroots democracy in action. People in a neighborhood go to their neighborhood precinct caucus, choose leaders, debate the candidates, debate the issues, and then elect somebody to go on to the next level, ultimately all the way to the national level of that particular political party. And I remember one November day, John Mahling came to school and he said to all of us, "You know, last night I went to my very first precinct caucus ever. There are no qualifications for going other than you have to be eligible to vote, old enough to vote," which I was. And guess what? They elected me chair of the precinct caucus. And guess what? They elected me to be the representative to go on to the next level. They were persuaded by my arguments about what the policies should be and who the candidate should be. A couple decades later, when I was in what had been his position as somebody in the early 20s, just graduated from school, beginning to work and live in the community, I thought about John Mahling and went to my very first precinct caucus where I was elected chair, and I followed in his footsteps because I was also elected to go on to the next level. So the lesson of many that I learned from him was that we're really never too young to be engaged and to take leadership positions. It's a lesson that I hope that I have imparted to all of my many students since then, and that they will impart to all of their students and others with whom they have contact. So many, many generations salute and thank you, John Mahling.